Welcome back to this segment, guys. I hope your day is going well. So, the Confederation of African Football has now rolled out the date, time, and venue of the African Cup of Nations qualifiers games that's going to start playing from September. Of course, Super Eagles are obviously preparing for that one because we have a number of fixtures, two fixtures in total in September, and then the first game is going to be against Benin Republic that actually beat us in the last game, which was the FIFA qualifiers. But again, we are going to play Benin Republic on the 7th, and then we'll play Rwanda on the 10th. That's 3 days after the first game. And the stadium for these games to be played is going to be a Gospel Public Stadium for Benin Republic game. And then the team will travel to Kigali, Rwanda, where they will play at the home of the Rwandan side. It's going to be played at the Aghahowa Stadium in Kigali. That's the capital of Rwanda. So these games have now been settled, and it's less than a month. Today is already 10th of August, so it's basically less than a month until we see these games being played. And again, that also brings us to the pending issue about the fact that the Nigerian Super Eagles are still not able to get a coach for the team, at this moment. In the previous video, I talked about a number of efforts that the NFF are making to try and get this situation sorted, but all of them are proving to be not very helpful, because in the end we've still not gotten the coach. But regarding this issue, an ex-international of the Nigerian Super Eagles, Aghahowa, has now sent a message to the NFF. He actually criticized them, and then on one hand he criticized them, and on the other hand he gave them a piece of advice going forward, regarding the coaching situation. Aghahowa actually did a recent interview with Rwanda FM, which is a radio station, and there he mentioned a number of things directed to the NFF. First things first, he actually criticized them for how they've actually been wasting a lot of time in selecting the head coach for the Nigerian Super Eagles. Aghahowa feels that the NFF are not being realistic in terms of who they want to appoint for the Nigerian Super Eagles job, especially making reference with the likes of Renard, where he said that the man is obviously a very good coach, a coach that's going to really suit the national team, but he talks about the viability or the reality of NFF actually being able to afford this man, because of course we know the man's wage demand is obviously way too much. It's 2 times, maybe even 3 times more than what Coach Joseph Osero was paid, a few months ago. Aghahowa actually questioned why NFF were wasting so much time in trying to get Renard or any of these coaches when they know fully well that they cannot afford to pay these coaches, that it's all just pointless, that since they know that they cannot afford to get a coach whose salary is way too much, they can easily go for a local coach. This is the advice of Aghahowa, that they can go for a local coach. He mentioned a number of coaches that they can trust in, the likes of Olise, Amunike, even Sanses Yasia. Go for these coaches, give them the job, give them time, and then support them through the process. This is what Aghahowa is saying. It appears that they are unable to convince foreign coaches, as we've seen recently. They are having a lifetime negotiation, and it's not amounting to anything. And paying these coaches is also an issue. So instead of wasting too much time talking about price with these coaches, Aghahowa feels that it's best to develop our local coaches and then give them the job and see how they can actually improve the team. Now, moving on to the next news, let me let you know that Super Eagles veteran striker Ighalo was celebrated with a hero's welcome at the home of Granada, which is also his former club side. His current club, Al-Weda of the Saudi Pro League, actually had a preseason game with the Granada, and that game ended in a 1-1 draw. Then Granada went on to win by penalty 5-4. Ighalo, of course, was the guy that had the equalizer for his Weda side. But the most interesting thing that happened was how this Granada side celebrated Ighalo, because he was, once their player. He actually played at Granada back in 2009 to 2010 on loan. and then later 2011 up until 2014 to 15, he spent his loan season there, spending a total 4 years with the club, scoring a number of goals, up to 38 total goals, 6 assists in 132 appearances total for the club. So he's close to something of a legend for the club side, which was why they obviously celebrated him the way that they did, by presenting him with a jersey with his name, inscribed on it in a frame, and then giving it to him before the game actually started. It was such a lovely bromance to see, between Ighalo and the club's representative, and they actually, went to their social media to post, in Spanish that transcribed to "This will always be your home." They were actually referring to Ighalo. And again, the man was very, very happy with the kind gesture. He had to record that moment, with a picture holding his frame alongside his teammates coming together to take that snapshot with him. So Jude Ighalo, 35 years old, obviously, at his old age, but the man is still very much firing. Last season, he got up to 15 goals for Aghahowa, and of course, helped them greatly in their season. But unfortunately, they finished 13, which is not a good place to be. And this season, they are looking to finishing somewhere a bit higher. And of course, if they are going to perform well this season, then definitely Ighalo is going to be at the forefront of it. Their preseason is coming to an end. And of course, they are going to start their league season on the 22nd of August with a match against Al Riyadh. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how Ighalo and Aghahowa finishes this season in this Saudi Pro League. But moving on to the last gist for this video, let me let you know that Chelsea new recruit SAMU is now an Olympic champion after the Spain side got a hard-fought victory over the host nation, France. It was a very, very tricky game. France actually went ahead early on through a mistake from the Spanish goalkeeper. But then Spain came back strongly and then replied with 3 goals. France got the equalizer later on in the dying minutes, but during the extra time, Spain had to finish that one off. Interestingly, SAMU was not among the players on the pitch, neither was he on the bench, because he was in line to do the medical in Paris, ahead of joining Chelsea, so he was not included in the squad list. But again, the man gets the medal for that one because he was part of the team. Obviously, he has been part of the team, from the start to the finish. He actually played one match. He actually started one match, and in that game, he scored a goal. So the man wins the gold medal and is going to be joining the Chelsea camp as an Olympic gold medalist. But that's the update, guys. Thanks for watching this one. Don't forget to like and react to any of the stories. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube, and then follow on Facebook. Share the video, guys, and then stay tuned for more updates.